All right, fellas. So there are many ways to get bait. I use a lot of commercial bait. I like just to buy my commercial bait. You guys know I get it from Marty Smith, Apple Road, Hoven's. But I also like to use fresh bait. And one thing that I do is I contact my local sheriff's office and I get on the county deer pickup. So I don't typically pick up any deer unless I need them, or I have the right to say I don't want to pick this up, or typically if you see a fresh kill, you can stop and call the sheriff's office. They'll come out and they'll give you a kind of like a written note saying you're allowed to possess this deer. So with that being said, I picked up a deer today and I had decent luck of getting it while it had just been hit. And I tried my best to just quarter it out the best I can. This is the second one I've picked up, and I plan on processing it through my grinder. And I saved up some other meat from the roadkill. So hopefully I can get a decent amount of bait out of this, maybe a couple gallons. The flies were on it a little bit, but all in all, it still looks pink and still looks like it's healthy meat and doesn't look like it's been tainted. So I'm gonna get it chopped up and put it into a bucket. And then what I like to do is I like to freeze it. And the reason I like to freeze it is because it processes through my grinder easier, and it doesn't get bound up. It doesn't get twisted with that sinew, and it also cuts easier whenever I'm chunking it up into little small pieces. So it's kind of like a meat sickle, pretty much. So I'm going to go ahead and get this taken care of and get it processed, and then I'm going to put it in the freezer, and then hopefully I can show you guys the next steps of what I'm going to be doing. So it's not for the faint of heart, but it gets you by, and it kind of saves gives a good use of something that would otherwise just be eaten by buzzards or worms, maggots, etc. All right, guys, stay tuned.
All right, fellas, now this is what you want to see. Tracks everywhere.
And guess what? We got an access road. Got a few more properties to go check out and see if I can get permission on. But we're getting her done. We're trying to finish up getting some properties before the season starts, and we're just going to be coyote trapping soon. It's so easy. Even old Grandpa Zagger can do it. So I just got back from a permission trip. Went to the surrounding counties that I already have permission on and just tried to get a few extra spots that I've noticed are pretty good looking locations. I did get some pretty cool footage, and I'll probably put that somewhere in this video just so you guys can see some of the stuff that I'm talking about whenever I'm telling you like what I'm looking for location wise. So while I did that, I came in and I got my meat out of the freezer and got it set out so that it can thaw. And now I'm just going to start cutting it up and getting into perfect chunk sizes for my grinder, and then I'll start grinding it and see how much I can get out of this. All right, guys, I'll keep you updated. All right, so this is kind of what we're working with. Still pretty, decently frozen. The top is kind of thawed out pretty well, but all I'll do is just come in, and I just use these old serrated knives that you get as a free gift from Minnesota, and just come in and I'll just chunk it up. So get it into nice small pieces. And like I said, when it's frozen, it's a lot easier to cut. But I'll just get into some frozen pieces and I'll get it ready for the grind. All right, I have most of this stuff chunked up. So what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll load up the grinder and get it ready. So, and then as I turn the grinder on, I'll just feed it in from the top, and then I'll keep replenishing as I go. Try to be as efficient as possible. All right, let's get to grinding. All right, so we just finished up the grind and ended up getting about 3 2-gallon buckets full, which I'm pretty happy about with just the deer that I was able to get from roadkill, and kind of salvage them and put them to good use for something. So now, if you wanted to, you could let these tank down and set for a few days and kind of get like a brownish coating, but still be pink on the inside, and mix them up. And then you could add your solution or your additives, whatever you wanted to put in this. You could do like a glycol or a glycerin. You could even add honey to them. Then you get your mint glands, your musculate gland, your castor, any of your other little additives like asafoetida or tonquin. But for me, I'm just going to freeze these and then use them fresh as I go. So as the season progresses, I'll just start taking them out of the freezer and letting them thaw out, and probably putting them in peanut butter jars or Miracle Whip jars that I save up. But one thing I did want to show you is, because all this meat was not completely frozen, it did get bound up in my grinder. And so there's a kind of a little quick way that you can clean it without taking it apart completely. Now, if you're planning on using this for something else, I would recommend just cleaning it, but I will show you that. Okay, so what I use is I just use ice, just crushed up ice or ice cubes, and I just send them through the grinder as well, and it helps kind of get out some of that excess meat that's in there. Well, now that it's done, like I said, I'm just going to, I just have to clean out the opening here, and then I'm just going to put my meat in the freezer, and then as the season goes, like I said, I'll just pull it out as needed. So I'll be using this alongside my commercial bait that I purchased from some dealers. So it's nothing crazy. I was thankful I could use these deer and didn't let them go to waste. And if you guys have any questions or comments or want to say anything or talk to me, just get a hold of me, let me know. Always willing to talk and kind of spread the knowledge the best I can. But until next time, fellas,